Let me tell you something raw. Most people think that the best stage of your life is filled with smiles, sunshine, and success. They think it's when your bank account is full, your skin is glowing, your soulmate is in your bed, and your job makes you feel important. That's a lie. The best stage of your life doesn't start with celebration. It starts with destruction, with questions, with loneliness, with loss, with an inner war so loud it silences the entire world. And the ones who are brave enough to face it, they don't become happy. They become free. Carl Jung called this moment the threshold of individuation, when the mask falls off and the true self begins to rise. This isn't self-improvement. This is self-initiation. If you're going through it right now, confused, tired, lost, isolated, you might think you're falling apart. But let me show you something deeper. Here are 13 signs you're not breaking down. You're breaking through. You are about to begin the best stage of your life. You feel like nothing makes sense anymore. This is not confusion. This is deconstruction. Your ego is panicking because its illusions are dying. The roles you played, the goals you chased, the people you tried to please, it's all starting to feel empty. Jung said that when the persona, the mask, starts to crumble, the soul steps forward. That chaos you feel? It's your soul waking up after years of being sedated by survival. You're not lost. You're just between lives. Your old friends can't reach you anymore. Suddenly, your conversations feel shallow. You sit at tables you once laughed around and now feel like a stranger. It's not arrogance, it's evolution. Your frequency is changing. The unconscious is calling you inward. The deeper you go, the more your outer world reshapes. Don't chase connections that no longer feel true. The solitude you're experiencing is not rejection. It's a sacred cocoon. The butterfly doesn't apologize to the caterpillar for flying. You feel an urge to destroy what you built. You worked hard for this relationship, this career, this reputation, but now you look at it and feel trapped. This is not self-sabotage. This is self-rescue. Jung said that the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, to stop performing, to stop pretending. You are not crazy for wanting to burn it all down. Sometimes destruction is the soul's only way of asking for rebirth. You start obsessing over the truth. You're no longer satisfied with, "That's just how it is." You question everything: religion, culture, love, capitalism, trauma, identity. This is the beginning of inner freedom. The ego fears questions, but the self is born through inquiry. Jung called this stage the shadow confrontation, when everything you repress starts whispering the truth. You're not cynical. You're finally honest. You start having intense, meaningful dreams. Your dreams become vivid, symbolic, sometimes terrifying, sometimes divine. That's the unconscious speaking. The soul is bypassing your rational mind to reveal itself in images. Pay attention. Jung believed that dreams are the royal road to individuation. When the soul is ready, the dream becomes a portal. The lion, the staircase, the drowning, the flame, they all mean something. Something that could set you free. You feel deep grief for the person you used to be. You're not who you were, and you're not yet who you're becoming. That liminal space is called ego death. It feels like mourning, because it is. You're grieving the mask that protected you, the survival tactics, the identity you crafted, the lies you told yourself just to belong. But the grief is sacred. The tears you cry now are baptizing the next version of you. You stop caring about what people think. You used to obsess over approval, over being liked, over fitting in. But now something deep inside whispers, "I'd rather be real than liked." This shift is seismic. Jung called it the liberation of the authentic self. You start walking away from performative living. You stop explaining your path. You stop asking for permission, and for the first time, your spine grows roots. You start attracting mysterious synchronicities. You think of someone and they call. You feel something, and it happens. You say something, and the universe echoes it back. These aren't coincidences. This is alignment. Your inner world is syncing with the outer world. Jung called it synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that reveals hidden order. The best stage of your life is always preceded by a period of divine nudges. Follow them. You begin to feel peace in your own company. Loneliness used to be your enemy. Now it feels like sanctuary. You no longer run from your thoughts. You no longer numb your emotions. You sit with them, listen to them, learn from them. The best stage of your life begins when your own presence becomes your peace. You've stopped chasing distractions. You've started becoming whole. Choose. You feel drawn to nature, art, and spirituality. Something inside you craves silence, stillness, forests, oceans, paintbrushes, sacred texts. This isn't a hobby. It's a reconnection. The soul heals through beauty, through rhythm, through symbolism. Jung believed that the unconscious doesn't speak English. It speaks through symbols, stories, archetypes. When you return to what's ancient, eternal, and divine, you remember who you are beneath the noise. You see through the facade of society. Suddenly, the rat race disgusts you. The fake smiles, the algorithm addiction, the emotional starvation. You stop envying fame and fortune. You start craving meaning, purpose, authenticity. Jung warned that modern people suffer not from diseases, but from the loss of meaning. You're not lazy, you're waking up, and when you do, you can never go back to sleep. Tweet. You start living. In alignment, not approval. You make decisions that make sense to your soul, not to society. You say no more often. You walk away more easily. You speak your truth even if your voice shakes. This is called integration. The shadow, the ego, the self. They're no longer fighting. You're becoming whole. Not perfect, not impressive. Whole, and wholeness is the birthplace of power. You feel a deep, unexplainable sense of destiny. Despite all the chaos, something inside you knows, I was born for this. You feel it in your chest, in your dreams, in your bones. A calling you can't explain. This is the final sign. You're no longer living to survive. You're here to embody something sacred. Jung called it individuation. The full unfolding of the soul. And it only begins once everything false falls away. You were never broken. Let me tell you the truth. You were never broken. You were buried under expectations, trauma, shame, labels. But now, the ground is cracking, and something ancient in you is rising. The best stage of your life is not a destination. It's a revelation. It's the moment. You finally remember, you are not here to fit in. You are here to become. So don't run from the pain. Don't numb the discomfort. Don't chase your old self. You're not dying. You're becoming real. Welcome to the best stage of your life. Not because everything's easy, but because you are finally awake.